Hi folks, my name is Chris Hodges. Today we're going to talk about the importance of financial wellness and how Homestead Advisors can help. First, just a little background. I started at NRECA on the PERC team in 2008 during the Great Recession. Fun. And now I'm working as an investment advisor on the Homestead Advisors team. I'm also a certified financial planner. Joining NRECA and then Homestead Advisors was one of the very best decisions of my life. So let me ask you a question to get started and get you thinking. How long could you cover your living expenses if you lost your job tomorrow? Less than 3 months? 3 to 6 months? More than 6 months? I ask that question because being able to handle a situation like that is a big part of financial wellness. I don't know if you realize, but a large percentage of Americans, including cooperative employees, don't have the savings to cover even a modest financial emergency. What's the backup plan in this case? Rising credit card debt? Borrowing from family or friends? 46% don't have enough savings to replace 3 months' worth of income. 37% could not produce $400 in an emergency. 33% mentioned that inflation was a financial challenge, and 18% of Americans cannot pay all their monthly bills in full. So, to look at financial wellness in a different way, what are some things causing financial anxiety and stress for people? If you look at responses from each generation, Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, and Baby Boomers, number one is spiking rent prices, especially for younger Americans, is causing stress. Number two, rising costs of inflation. Now that's sort of across the board, but especially older folks who may be on a fixed income. Growing debt is number three, certainly. Number four, retirement worries. It just takes so much money to retire comfortably. And lastly, number five is the current elevated interest rates, such as mortgage rates. And so to handle all these financial stresses, we believe that you need a plan. And Homestead Advisors can help you identify your financial needs and create that plan. Another question. If you received $5,000 today, what would you do with it? How many would spend it? And if you spent it, what would you spend it on? Would spending it be supporting the goal of financial wellness? Maybe, maybe not. How many would save it like in a savings account to have as emergency reserve? And how many would be willing and able to invest it for future goals? Just something to think about. How do you create your own financial wellness plan? Well, a good place to start can be with identifying your goals. A good exercise is to write down on paper all your financial goals. For example, retirement, emergency savings, that's usually number one, education for a child, etc. And then put them on paper, put them in order. Decide what is the most important financial goal right now. What is number one? Write it down. Then what is number two? And then number three. Doing this makes it easier to know where to focus your money resources. One of the things that can help you determine your top goals is to understand where you fit in the various stages of life. If you're in the accumulation stage, perhaps your goals include paying off student debt, building an emergency savings of 3 to 6 months' expenses, saving for a child's education. From approximately 35 to 60 in the middle stage, you may be focused on taking vacations, again, children's education, and of course, retirement planning. And then in the last stage, the retirement stage, you may focus on achieving your desired retirement lifestyle, or what we might call financial independence, which is the ability to spend how much you want, when you want, on whatever you want. That's the ultimate. Of course, medical expenses might take up a bigger part of your budget, which is something you have to be aware of, and estate planning may be a priority. Now, when it comes to these goals, it's nice to know that Homestead Advisors is here to help. Depending on your financial goal, our mutual fund company Homestead Funds has an account type that may be right for you. For example, if your goal is saving for a home, we have individual and joint taxable accounts, or perhaps an IRA, which is an individual retirement account. For your golden years or retirement, again, a taxable account may be appropriate, an IRA account, or even a trust account might be good. And if you want to get started saving for the unexpected, like emergencies and job loss, an individual or joint account could be the type to use there. So you see, Homestead Funds comes into play when you want or need an investment account outside of the co-op or your place of employment. At work, you may have a 401k or a defined benefit plan like the RS plan. But for most other investment needs, you may want to work with an outside advisor like Homestead Advisors. In those accounts I just mentioned, we can help you achieve your financial goals using mutual funds. For very short-term goals like a rainy day account, the daily income fund might be appropriate. For an intermediate time frame goals, such as 1 to 5 years, our short and intermediate term bond funds may make sense. And then for longer term goals, perhaps more than 5 years, where perhaps you can afford to take more risk, which is fluctuations, we have 5 stock funds covering everything from large companies to small companies to international companies, etc. However, we guide shareholders to invest in a range of funds to build a diversified portfolio. This is called asset allocation, and we can help you with that. In choosing a portfolio that is right for you, it's important to understand that one size does not fit all. There's no right or wrong answer. Your portfolio of investments should be based in part on your life stage, your age, your experience with investing, when you need the money, and how much risk you're willing to take. But in theory, over the long term, and based on historical stock market performance, the more risk you take, the greater potential for return. In that end, the most important factor is that you need to be able to sleep at night. That's the bottom line. So if you look at this chart, if your time horizon is on the short end and you want less risk, perhaps you invest in a portfolio like the one on the left, the conservative portfolio. This allocates most of the money in cash, which is a money market for us, and bond funds with a small amount in stock funds. Over on the right, a very aggressive portfolio would be for someone who has a long time horizon or who wants to be more aggressive when investing. In this case, you might want to invest most of the money in stock mutual funds, equity funds. This is the kind of asset allocation planning we can help you with. In fact, there is no cost for asset allocation planning, whereby if you fill out a 10-question questionnaire, we can create a plan that gives you a customized recommendation on which Homestead funds to invest in and how much in each. Now, often the toughest part of reaching your financial goals is to just get started, and we make that easy with low minimums. Open an account with no money, just agree to fund it regularly from your bank or paycheck later on. Now, a little bit more about Homestead Advisors. We are wired differently. We were created over 30 years ago by the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, NRECA. You see, it used to be that when someone retired, they were forced to take their 401k money and defined benefit plan money out of the company. And that's why Homestead Funds was created. Today, the rules have changed. You still have the option of rolling your money to an outside IRA like Homestead Funds, but you also now have the option of keeping the money in the co-op's plan. It's nice to know that our investment strategies are open to all investors. That includes friends, family, and neighbors. In other words, the Homestead Funds are open to the public. You should also know that we return our profits to NRECA, which provides an additional source of revenue to support member needs and initiatives. So an investment with Homestead Funds is an investment in our electric co-ops. And lastly, it's also nice to know that unlike some other investment firms, we do not charge additional advisory fees on the money you invest. As a reminder, all mutual funds do incur expenses which cover operating costs. Here are some Homestead Advisor Services statistics. We were founded in 1990. We've been helping shareholders build brighter futures for more than 30 years. We offer a comprehensive range of 9 no-load mutual funds that cover the entire risk-reward spectrum, from conservative money market funds to aggressive growth funds. Our investment team has over 90 years of cumulative financial professional experience through different market conditions. You can feel confident that your investments are in good hands. So visit us online. We have a comprehensive website that includes our guidance center, a complete list of our mutual funds and their information, You can also book a phone or virtual meeting with our investment advisors right on that website. Our website also has resources and tools to help you achieve your financial goals. You can open an account right online, you can process transactions, you can update your account information. You can also use our tools to help you decide which asset allocation model to use. To schedule a one-on-one with someone on our team, you can go to the website, just click Connect with Us, link in the upper right-hand corner, choose the investment type, day, and time that you prefer, and some details including your phone number, and then just book it. And that can either be an appointment over the phone or a virtual face-to-face meeting. So I want to thank you very much for listening. You see our phone number up there and our email. And here are some disclosures for you to review. Thank you for listening, and we hope to connect with you soon.